We are back, and today we're gonna solve number one on LeetCode two-sum question, and this is our second method, our HASHMAP method. So a lot of you who are not really, it's not your first time or either. Excuse my terrible handwriting, but a lot of you who are trying to solve this in a HASHMAP way are not like basically um your first time doing LeetCode, or you want to solve it in a more faster way, which is really good because the brute force is O of n squared, which it passes, but a lot of you would know this is the worst case scenario that it is possible. O n squared is really slow, and I would not object to that because O n squared is indeed really slow. If n goes even up to 100, then that means we have to do like 100 square amount of equations, right? That's too slow. So another way we can solve this problem is using what you guessed it, hash maps. So what are these hash maps? Hash maps are really simple, basically. Um, don't get intimidated when doing LeetCode questions. At the end of the day, when you solve this question, you'll be, huh, that's pretty easy. So hash map Hash, map, has two things. It has a key and it has a value associated with it. Well, it's not that hard. Always has a key and a value associated with it, okay? So let's just say we have a value that is like 10. This is going to be our unique key. A key is going to be unique, so there's only going to be one, right? And the value in this case can be anything. And in this case, we're gonna store these values in the key because there's going to be one value in the indices as our value, if that makes sense. So, for example, if we make a hash map right here, again, excuse my horrible handwriting, but let's just say we are going to make a hash map, and our hash map has 2, 7, 11, 15, right? So we're gonna first add key 2 as our first key. This is going to be our key, and we're gonna put the indices as the first key. The first index is what? You guessed it right, 0. And then we're going to put the second key. It's going to be 7. And the second index is going to be 1. And we're gonna keep on doing this, right? We're gonna keep on doing this until this kind of works. And we're at the end of the day, after we finished it, which is going to cost us O of n, because we literally are just going to go through this 2, 7, 11, 15 one time. You guessed it, we're gonna get the target. And Java's inbuilt hashmap function has a get, which what we need to only is put a key and it will calculate it where it is for us. I'm gonna put. But the problem is, like, again, as we are, how do I say this? The best way to explain this is, I guess, we're gonna use another for loop that's got a loop. It's I is 0, basically loop through the whole thing, and we're gonna react to this for loop. How are we gonna react to this? We're gonna get our int, let's just say x, which is going to be target minus, my bad, target minus nums I, basically. This is what we're going to try to get. And this is going to be really easy because let's just say target is 9 and our nums I is, for example, this first value is 0, so it's going to be 6. And nx is going to be 7. We're going to find for 7. And if our hash map contains 7, if our hash map contains 7, we're going to return this and basically end what we have. Okay, so let's go straight into code, right? And we are back. I accidentally didn't record. We are currently recording this video for a long time. Yeah. Uh, okay, so let's just get this straight. What we're gonna use in this method is we're gonna use a hash map, basically. Hash map. Why are we gonna use a hash map? A hash map is way faster than, you guessed it, brute force. So hash map, we're gonna use the built-in hash map method. So hash map integer x1 hash map. You can name it anything you want, but like I have kind of like a tendency to put like any object x1 if I don't really have any objects. So put anything you guys want. Let's just say ARR for the time, because I think that makes understanding it more easy. We're gonna put everything in, and how we're gonna put everything in is very easy. We're gonna basically use a for loop to basically put everything in length I++, right? And we're gonna put everything in this hash map ARR dot. And how we put values in a hash map is like we don't use add, we use something like called put, because we're putting values in basically. And a lot of you guys will be confused. Why don't we use add? And for that, I think we use put. That's only the basic answer I have. A lot of naming when it comes to like naming methods and naming things in Java are kind of sometimes, for me at least, it was kind of unclear. So it made me like kind of confused. But the only way to really like overcome this is basically like get used to the syntax, I guess. And we're gonna, after we put everything in, we're gonna do this one more time. And this time, we're not putting values in, we're looking for values. So our int answer is going to be our target minus answer. Minus, not answer, I'm sorry. Okay? So this makes us, for example, if our target is 9, and our first index is 2, what is going to be our answer? Our answer is 7. And we're gonna look if we have our answer. So if ARR dot contains keys answer and which this has to like return true, and you guessed it. If, can you think of what this part will be? So ARR dot get answer. So this will return our index does not equal I, because again, if I clarify, we can't have same indices I as our answer. So if we have our 0 index and we return, so basically if our answer is 8, right? Our target is 8. Let's just say this is like for like just an example. We can return 4 4 as the answer is 0 0 for the answer because the index has to be different. So let's put it right back in. Index doesn't equal, and we're gonna return our new int, right? And we want to get our indices for our answers. So for example, if our first indices is 2, we're going to get answer. So let's just say, what is our target? 9. What is our nums 0? Nums 0. Nums 0 is going to be 2. So our answer will be 7. So ARR contains answer and ARR gets answer does not equal I. We're going to return I and our ARR get answer. So basically, we're going to get the index for 7, if that makes sense. And obviously, it's still giving us an error here because we didn't return anything outside of the for loop. So we always have to return something outside of the for loop because for basically our program to know we have something backed up if we don't hit this method. But we're always are going to, because the question literally says we're always going to have answer, but our code doesn't really know that, so let's just say here. And let's run it. And it's going to be 0 and 1, which is going to be correct. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment, and yeah, have a great day. Please subscribe, like, thank you.